myself muted so I don't hear twice. And yep. Nice. We are live. Hello, everyone. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed everything works fine.
On our fishing stream.
Yes, fishing stream. I have been told to get myself in game a lot more, play a lot more, and stream as I'm playing. So that's something which I've got to do. It's how to improve myself in this game. Stream it more. So that'll be fun to do. Yeah, welcome one and all. We're going to wait a bit for a few more people to turn up, but this is going to be a question and answer session. So feel free to start writing up any questions you may have. Obviously, we've got a bunch from Discord already, which has been asked, so we'll be going through those as well. So yeah, sit around as we get ready to do all the fun stuff. Now I've got to find all these questions and go through them. Okay, good. Yep, totally. Well, pro gamers, why don't you actually, stream the game as well? Show us how it's done. It'll be fun to see what you do. YouTube, there's a question already. Koran is asking whether there's going to be a wipe this year, and that's an easy one to answer. We're not planning on doing any wipes in the game. It just doesn't seem right. But there will be a new map in the future. We'll talk a bit about that for the main, part of this stream. Something will come out as well, and that will be starting from scratch. So it'll be a lot more balanced for you there.
That is not as easy question answer as you told. So I have to interrupt you.
Yes, perfect.
There will be no wipe. That's true. We don't plan to do it as we promised, but we understand that Golden Land after the new map release can lose a lot of players. That maybe so we can do something with Golden Land. We can change its concept in one way or another. But anyway, we'll ask the community, we'll ask players who would like to stay here about their wishes. So we'll make maybe a poll. Yes, there will be no wipe, but Godland can change its concept, some rules. Maybe it will become creative mode world or something like that. We still didn't decide it, but yeah. So there will be no wipe, but it can be changed somehow.
Perfect. Just to be clear, that is like a change as in to the game itself, not to the stance on wiping. So I hope that answers the question. That also does kind of answer what as Nico just wrote, asking whether we read the main chats to take consideration what players are saying. And yes, we are there. I'm there quite often, as are the other team. There is a lot of people in the LTG team, community managers. They are reading everything, and maybe it's something which we can work on just to open up our discussions. But we are talking about anything and everything that you guys are talking about in the chat. It's being brought up as well within the team, and we're talking about a lot. So if we do any changes to the Golden Lands, then it will be based on what you guys say. And we know that we're quite behind in a lot of things that we want to do. It doesn't mean that's been forgotten. So yeah, hopefully that answers you quickly there. yeah, other than that, like I guess also more of like a lot of the questions that we're going to be going over will be coming from Discord. We asked for the questions, so we're doing that a lot there.
Or
I guess,
maybe,
yeah,
sorry, or maybe we can pick some questions from game chat.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if
We
we
can pick
can
questions. We've
use
got a
it.
good time here.
Okay, let's say that we can grab some questions from big channel chat.
Yeah, like
I'm
ask
not
your
sure.
questions. We'll do our best to answer it. You know, we've got a lot to work through, and we'll just keep going through everything we can.
We'll try to.
Yeah. I guess then we can just speak about the first one. The first question that we have really is like, obviously, the big one is what is the information on the new map? Do you want to answer that, or should I talk about it?
Uh, yeah. In some way, I've started to talk about it.
Mhm.
So new map is preparing not as fast as we'd like. Uh, but we are that is because we started to operating a big number of our population, server population is high and higher than ever been. So we have to operate, fix bugs, and we'd like to finish our some features that we've started to implement. Yes, the operating and creating something new is difficult task. So yes, we are working on it. We are still discussing some questions about future systems, including CH system changes, and we are working on it to. We'd like to announce some feature that maybe will be welcomed from your side. We want to launch public test realm before the map release, where everyone who have subscription, even free one, can enter a new world and test it with new rules, new mechanics, and so on. Yes, we are working on preparing such public test realm. We are aiming to launch it in July, but if some issues will appear with our launched service, yeah, we have to deal with it. We know
Okay.
about Issa's battle issues, arenas issues. So yeah, we have to manage with it too.
Okay. So just like I guess I can summarize that one quickly, which is simply that we did want to have the new map much earlier, but there's been, quite a few issues with the current server, and in a sense, the good news is that all the issues with the new server, the current server, has been because there's been a lot of players in the game, more than expected, and the servers had to be optimized a lot. There's a lot of coding stuff which has to be worked on. We did not want to abandon Hoodland in favor of the new map, so work is being focused on Hoodland a bit as well. That's really to also finish off these extra features which we had long spoken about. So the new map, we're still aiming for July or so, but it can take some time. So please don't hold your breath for July, but that is our aim. However, in the meantime, we are working on a completely new idea, which is the public test realm. That's gonna be like anyone who has a subscription will have access to the test realm, and that's going to be essentially a test server for the game. That will be reset every so often, so the balance is always the same. But we'll be, you'll be able to play over there, see what the upcoming changes are, upcoming new features are, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, new map will take some time. Main focus is really on the Hunlan, making the servers more stable, and then working on this public test server as well. Yeah, that's the first one there. We will be going over the questions in the chat as well in a bit. There's a couple of questions which we have from Discord, which we promise we'll answer first. So we're doing that one there. So people in the YouTube chat or in the Twitch chat, anywhere we are, do ask your questions. We'll get to them as soon as possible. There's a few other stuff we'll be working on as well. So there's well, one of the big questions which is currently actually being asked in the chats is also related to the one which I had on me, which is from Discord. As written on Discord, it said that the main goal of the game was to engage in massive PvP siege battles in an open world, and now people are complaining about the half-broken IBs, war declaration system that is completely disengaged, and everything like that. Are there any plans to elevate the game to where it was meant to be? That's a big one for what people are asking. So that's kind of a tough one there because also a lot of the PvP change that we work on is with this new map. But really, we do all know that the game is meant to be a PvP game. It is focused on PvP and giant siege battles. So the first thing is we've got to work on the stability of the instance battles because that's just been completely messed up. I've had some long conversations with people on Discords. They've given me a lot of information about the IBs and what's wrong with them, potential ways to fix them. We've been obviously discussing that within ourselves, between ourselves as well. And that is one of the big reasons why we're working on this new public test realm, because we have a bunch of changes which we are potentially working on. It's focusing on PvP, and we will need to know how it works before it goes live. So new siege systems, better IB in general, and a lot of improvements, fixes that we have there, they'll be put onto the public test run first, where you'll be able to test it out. So yeah, we're aware of a lot of work being needed on that front there. So we'll be, you'll be able to see it pretty soon. And also this way, with this test realm, you guys will see all the work we're doing a lot ahead of time. A lot of times we have features we want to release, but maybe we find a bug in our own testing the last minute, so it gets pushed back. This way, you can at least see it and see, okay, that's coming up. Damn, there's a bug, it's delayed, but at least you have proof that we've worked on it. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
I'd like to add only that instance battle issues are our priority right now.
Okay.
We have added some additional login into the current patch, and thank you. I've got first logs with errors with transferring characters error. So yeah, it's already sent it to developers. So yeah, we can now investigate and fix the issue. I hope it will be soon enough. We sometimes it is very hard to catch some errors on our test server. Yes, we have to test it in a live server. Yeah, and added additional login. Yeah. So instance battles will not be changed, and we try to fix it as soon as possible.
Nice. Just a quick note: people are asking why the gameplay is fishing. That's really because the purpose of this is just for us to sit here, answer the questions, really discuss with the community as much as you can. And it's hard to play this game properly while actually reading over the chats, because there's a lot of people talking at once, DMs going off everywhere, and actually answering you. So you just got a basic part of the game there. I mean, fishing is useful anyway. And the focus is really just on getting your questions answered. So yeah, that's why for now it's there. We will be working on, I've been asked to get myself, playing much more often and actually streaming it. So if you want to see actual gameplay, then we are working on getting that one there. That's something which has been requested to me. So I'll be, working on that part. But for this stream, it will be fishing in the game and us talking about the game, talking to you guys, answering the questions and something like that. So yeah, moving to the next big question. We got asked fun one, which is, are we going to see the implementation of instances by using NPCs with larger in-game rewards? I guess straightforward answer there is like before we can like add any instances using NPCs, but with the larger rewards, I think we really need to improve the AI of the NPCs in the first place because it's kind of all over the place. So it is in the plans, those larger rewards, everything like that. However, it's a case of there's so many layers to this all that we really need to fix it from the bottom to the top. Otherwise, we end up with these odd situations where something will break here and there. Yeah, so we'll have more. We're putting together some information on what's going to be fixed. Again, you will see this on a public test round first once that's live. But yeah, it is on our to-do list. It's a big one there. Yeah. I guess I can ask one question for you, which you've been asked a lot, is about the balancing. Do you want to take that one there? If there's any plans for balancing combat, some weapons feel very broken right now.
Yes, we are working on a patch, combat patch right now. The next patch, we'd like to add more constructions. You could see it in one of the latest developers diary. But the next one will be about PvP. We wanted to, we are working on adding group arenas. That feature, I hope, will be welcomed. I know some players wanted it, and yes, we find it very interesting for every map, Godland or a new one. So yes, one of the closest patches will be PvP. We know about complaints on one weapon or another. We read it. We read everything, almost everything. Okay, but yes, it will be. There will be change, and we'll try to find a better balance. But I have to say that balancing is not an end point. It is like moving around meta, or you can call it somehow else. So balancing is a way, not an endpoint. And yes, but our aim is to add a lot of different strategies so people could use different armors, different weapons, try to counter each other, and so on. So yes, it is a hard and continuous work, and we want to show you some results in nearest future.
Yep, that's perfect. I noticed that Seba, you on the Twitch chat mentioned like because we're adding new things before we fix the current ones. That's why things are broken, and that's why we're not that's why we haven't pushed forward with the new map right away because there's a lot more things to be done. The problem is that it's kind of a balancing act. If we only work on fixing what needs to be fixed, that means there's going to be no new features, and a lot of these fixes are in the background code. Like if we you can't see a lot of these fixes. These are just number changes. You probably experience it in a game, but a lot of people just complain that, yeah, this is the exact same game as before. So we do need to add new features to the game as well. The focus really is on getting, the focus is on getting the game working properly with some added features coming in, so we can actually see that we are doing new things as well as fixing old. There's a lot of old stuff that needs to be fixed. Everyone who's been around for the crashes last week will know that exactly. Yeah. Then I there's a big question that's been popped up quite a lot when it comes to the balancing stuff like that. As you know, as we mentioned, it is part of it is something we're considering, but do give us your thoughts as well, like community wise. Just tell us what you think would be better, because it's one thing to say these items are bad, they're too weak or too strong, but if it really does help if you let us know why you think something is overpowered or too weak. Like, is it maybe that you spend far too much time and effort to get this item and then you feel the reward is not good enough? That could be a big point. So the more information you give, the better. And I know it doesn't always look like it, but we are always reading what's on Discord, and we are like all of the Steam messages which are there. I'm going through that every day. We do see it. It is hard to respond to every single one, but we're really going through everything there. So all the info you give, it's not being ignored, and we take it into consideration. So it's a big one there. Then I guess another one, a good question, which has come up a lot thanks to, well, some of the Discord chats which I've been in, which is about removing or revamping some of the game rules. Especially, quite a few people mentioned to me recently that some of them are not clear. Maybe they don't make sense. Maybe we're in a position where the game allows it, but we don't allow it. And then sometimes you get banned, sometimes you don't get banned. So it's complete confusion, everything like that. So, okay. That's a big one there. So there's quite a few things to go over. Like, first things first, like, we are planning to remove the most debated rule about what's allowed during sieges. Now, please note, we are planning to. That means we haven't done it just yet, but it will be removed soon enough. How that will work is, like, we're preparing a series of tutorial videos that will help the community players to explain what's going in. And the first video will be about the general best practices of building a fortified castle, because we've noticed that some people aren't the best at building fortresses, or they're not best at building castles. It gets a bit odd with the wall placements, especially. And after that, once we've put those videos out, we're just going to give people some time to rearrange their fortifications, because we do think that maybe some people don't know about the wall placements. Give them some time to rearrange it, and then we will remove that rule. That's the that's the what's dumping ground in siege rule and stuff like that. And obviously, once that happens, we will announce it on Discord everywhere. We'll put it on. I will put it as a Steam news because it's a big one there. So that is the process for it. Just to repeat again, we will be removing that rule, the what's allowed in sieges. However, there'll be a step to it. First step, video will be coming out. Then we'll let you guys have digestion time just to rearrange fortresses. Then announcement, and it'll be gone. There was a bit of confusion regarding that rule, thanks to some comments I mentioned. My bad there entirely. I'm sorry, but the good point is, I can say that, hey, listen, we have listened to what you guys have all been saying. This has been requested by the community, and yeah, it makes sense. So that's our plan for going forward. Then I guess we can ask one more question, and then we'll focus on the chats, because there's a lot of questions coming in YouTube and Twitch. So this question here, then we'll do some player comments, which is, will there be a lot of resources? Oh, sorry, do you want to jump in?
I'd like to add some
Yeah,
points.
sorry about
We introduced rules when we was not so confident, and we act like previous developers in some cases. So yes, it was a traditional approach. I'd say so. Now we understand much better how the game looks like, how it works, what people want to see, what to do, and so on. And now we are preparing those changes. Not every rule was introduced because of traditionals. Some was like um, it is some rules we have to add because of abuses, and our approach future approach. Current approach is about to fix as much as possible abuses by in-game mechanics, not rules but mechanics. So yes, when we remove as example, underwater mining, yes, we removed this rule. So yes, we can add some temporary rules while we fix it in the game. So we'll just show that we don't want some mechanics be abused, and what we want to fix. Uh, so yes, and about questions about group arenas from big chat. Yes, PvP patch will be in the same patch with group arenas, and rebalancing weapons will be also there. So don't worry, it will be. You will see. You will see both fixes and group arenas.
Um, then Sanga original asked what is illegal and what is not when it comes to the rules. So yeah, that's completely fine. That is why we need to sort out the rules a lot. I can't tell you off the top of my head because there's quite a lot of them. However, if I mentioned this before, if you guys can let me know what rules are unclear to you, right? We will be able to work on them one by one. The thing is that when I asked this question the last time on Discord, it was overwhelmingly the whole point about the dumping soil in sieges and stuff like that. It was completely unclear. So we focused on ways to solve that problem first and foremost. So, you know, I do not mind. Write up every single rule that you find unclear. Send it to me in Discord as in a DM, and highlight me if I don't respond to you. I do not mind. You can poke me as many times as you want until I reply. Once that's done, then I'll try to help out with that, and we can discuss it. We won't be changing every single rule. Some rules are needed, right? But as you know, as we mentioned, that some of the stuff that we have now are because of the because we just copied the behavior from previous developers, and it's probably time to change for some of them. So we're open to it. Then, yeah, I guess we can go just to the last question before we really focus on the chat questions. And I think I'll leave it to you because that is, will there be a lot of resources, or will we have to fight over everything we find on the new map? So, do you want to take that one?
Yes, our future map is not as easy. There will not be a lot of resources on every corner. And yes, we want to fix and make outposts to produce much less resources. So yes, PvE players will have to do a lot of job here. But we don't want to make them like a name for all PvP players, so they can kill and grab the stuff. No, we will add some additional points of interest where even PvP players can get some resources. It will you will there will be points on the map where you can get some top quality resources even without mining and so on. But returning to the question, there will be no a lot of resources on a new map. You will have to do and find and gather it but we'll try to add more points where players will have to interact with each other, and while getting these resources or get other get other bonuses on the map.
Okay. Yeah. So the new map will be an active struggle. It's designed to be a struggle. So like there's a lot of questions about PvP, like whether we know what's good or what's right. So again, it comes back to we will have the public test server, public test realm. You'll see a lot of changes there first. Not everything we do will be perfect, so that's why we'll have that. So you guys can tell us, maybe we make a change, you see it in the test realm and it's hated, then if that happens, that happens. We'll go back on it. But then there's not much, like we will not be changing the Hoodland map too much. Instead of PvP, a lot of the PvP change that you guys will want will be on new map. And yeah, then we'll just see how it goes. We really just do want to make sure that the way we develop it will be in the direction that the community wants the most. There's always a balancing act. Some people want one thing, some people want other. Like I see a lot of people in the chat now saying that green zones was the death of the game previously. There's, it's never that easy. But the easy question there is that, again, the new map will be the one where if you really are going to be a PvP diehard, go for the new map. I mean, you'll be starting on the same level as everyone else. Everything will be fought over a lot more. Yeah, so now there is a bunch of questions in Twitch and YouTube, which we can go back over, and I will try to get through as many as possible, or we'll try to get through as many people as possible. If somebody who writes a question feels that I have missed a question, then please repeat it. Case in point, Neil Radar has just been asking the same one I've noticed a few times. Why don't you change that if you carry something below 0, you drop it? It makes some shore shallow waters unsiegeable. Do you have anything for that one, or is that something we just need to consider?
Sorry.
Why don't you change that if you carry something below 0, you drop it. So if you're carrying something in the water, I'm guessing like that, because if you play with the shore or shallow water, it makes some shallow water sieges unsiegeable. Man, I am twisting my tongue quite badly there. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Remove the feature.
About water bases and so on. Yeah. I received your suggestions about the ways how it could be fixes. I'd like at least one where we could simply simply disable an ability to flatten the ground beneath 2.1 level, and maybe we could block teleportation of resources, selling resources, building resources. I mean, like granite, stone, dirt, and so on. So yes, we could fix it in such way. It will be still available in the game, and we understand that sieging water bases is not easy task. Maybe even limiting flattened ground fitting flattened ground level will be enough. So yes, everyone can stay on the shore and break walls and so on. Like I don't know if there is a lag in the streamline, but like here, I don't know if it's shown. So people could stay on and could damage buildings, and it will be a way to it will so it could be fixed. I'm not sure if additional limits like transportation, like limits on transportations will be added because that will be worked also for all other bases, not only what one. I'm not sure right now if it will be okay for everyone, but even one this solution could be implemented. We'll check about this ability. We'll test it on test server, and yeah, it could. But you have to understand that this ground, like what is done already, we cannot. It cannot be undone. So current water bases will be the same. I don't know.
So I guess really it's just that it's easy to say change this one thing. So maybe you don't drop your items below a certain tile, but there's a lot of knock-on effects, and it's really hard to just make a change that it applies to one part of the game. However, it is. I mean, if you take anything out of that part just now, it's just this is actually a larger conversation than just a quick one, and it really does need a lot more thought to it. But it is something which we are aware of, and that it does need to be addressed eventually. How again? Give us your suggestions, everyone. Like we obviously have our own ideas. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. So we're curious what you guys would think. We're obviously working with our ideas as well. Obviously, we'll do for that one. That's just making the whole series a little bit more, let's say, bearable. Then there's a few questions about bugs. Like there's one which popped up quite a bit, which is that you can have a one-handed weapon and a shield at the same time, especially while riding horse. But quite a few people have mentioned that they feel like it's not working as well as it used to before. So is this a bug, or was it intentional change, or yeah, what's the view on it really?
Actually, I don't know how it was, but you can share what actions you think working
Okay.
not right, and we can check if it's okay or not.
Okay. So yeah, that really just goes up to something like we maybe it's more like when you guys want to report a bug to us, like, or if you ask, just go directly. Tell us what you expect to happen. Like with this question here, which got brought up, one of the reasons why I mentioned it directly just now is because as I was reading it, I was like, yeah, this is a perfect case of we need a bit more information. Like if you say that's a one-handed weapon while using a shield on a horse doesn't work as well as it used to before, like what did it do before that's so much better than now? Like, is it that the damage isn't that great anymore, or is it maybe that there's some effect which is going on? So yeah, please just like we will do our best to answer you, stream or in chats or wherever, and then obviously try to work on it. But a lot of times we do need that extra bit of info. So then something about the balancing, because we spoke about in the past, is like, do we keep track of the weapon performance via usage statistics or any analytics, or how do you guys, how do the devs and everybody know what people use?
Oh, actually, we don't have a lot of analytics right now. In case of we can't see how much one weapon or another are used, but we'll check creating analytics, and yes, it show us how much weapons and which types are created. It is not maybe a clear way to understand which weapon is OP and which one is not. But yes, it is uh, one of the ways that can be understandable and independent on compliance and voices of the community.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, like perfect way to show that like the game as is right now, a lot of reason why you don't see a lot of the changes is because we have to add those analytics to the game. So like to people who worked with games before, then it might sound crazy that we can't see what type of weapons you guys are using, and that's just like it didn't exist in the game before, so we've got to make it, or we have to rely on other things. So yeah, it's a big part of you can't see everything that we are doing because those are the sort of stuff that we need. It helps us down the line, but it's not a direct one. So that is another reason why we do keep adding new features here and there, small bits, even though we know that's not everything's working perfectly just yet. So it's a balancing act between it all. Then let's see. There's been a few questions. Let's say I'm going to look on YouTube because there's been one that comes up a lot. S-Stock as a weapon, that's been asked. Are you going to be nerfing it? There's been quite a few comments about it being too strong. Any thoughts on that specifically, or how does that work?
I guess we answered this question, and maybe we will answer this question some more time during this stream. We didn't buff any weapons without purpose. We during the first PvP patch that was in the end of the last year, we changed. We did a lot of changes. We did a lot of changes not only on weapons but also on armors, and we have to understand that it was a complex patch. So, and the next PvP patch will also be complex. We wanted to add some increase some weapon bonuses on armors. We want to tweak some armor changes also. And yes, S-Talk may be seen as broken right now. Maybe we've missed it during the first tests, but yes, we live with such a stock like a half a year, and okay, we are ready to update it, and uh, when we'll be sure that we don't create more uh, more other overpowered weapons, as you call it. Uh, so
Yeah, that's
yes,
fine.
testing, and some experiments, and you have to understand that it is complex patch, and you don't have to watch only damage on the weapon. You have to be prepared. So and counter one weapon or another by getting one
Yeah,
type of armor on.
like kind of like rock paper scissors, one beats the other, other beats the other. So yeah, simple as like, and like I noticed that people mentioned also not just the S, like also maybe the spear or something like that. But the same explanation can go for every single item. It's like everything was moved around like by the end of last year, I think, with a reason, and maybe not everything's perfect. We're open to changing it, but it's a much bigger process. Balancing items is hard, and it's never like the be all end all. There's always something better to it. But again, public test realm is going to be part of the solution for it, because that way you can see directly and like let us know before it goes live, because that's probably one of the biggest problems. Like you want to get these things before they go live, and like even from these like streams, like I remember the last two times we did it, the spear and the edgestock, they weren't mentioned whatsoever, and they haven't been changed since what, December last year or something like that. So it's interesting that's coming up now. Maybe it's just people start unlocking it now or something like that. I don't know, but it's not always it really is that it's not evidenced whether an item is overpowered right away. It takes a lot of people actually playing around with it, testing out. Maybe it's a specific combination that's great or that's not. So yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, House a lot on Twitch said it. People are only realizing how strong it is now, and that's fine. I mean, but it also is why we want to get the public test realm working, so people can try it out first, and why we rely on new lots to tell us. Like we do our best to balance it out, but it could be. Yeah. So then, more questions from the community again coming up. There's the camera's been brought up a few times. Like people call the camera rotation crazy. Have you ever heard that report yet? And any notes on whether we're planning to fix that or change it?
Yes, we know and try to fix it, and we already fixed it for some cases, like, if I'm not mistaken, for mining, but there are a lot of it is like a manual fixes for almost every skill. We try to fix every such fast moving cameras, but we still didn't find an easy way to fix it. So I hope we will return to this question, and I know how it is like that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the stream is
That's fine.
also is showing
I mean,
lagging.
it's just a part of the game. I mean, in the end, to fix it, every single part of the game in some way has to be fixed individually. There's like a lot of times it's annoying because for some stuff like what we mentioned for the water siege stuff, a change there fixes everything else, or would change almost everything else. But for the places that matter, like the camera, there isn't a one fix everything. It's every single last like ability will have to be fixed manually one by one. So we can go through it, but there's always something missed, and a lot of times everything is like related. So it's happened a lot where we do one fix and they'll fix that one thing, but then it may break something else that doesn't in any logical way seem connected, but it is connected somehow by some magical code. So that really holds up a lot of problems, holds up a lot. So yeah, that's how that one is. I guess, wait, this is a question which has been up on every single stream so far, which is when do you plan on bringing back burning dirt in the kiln? And people were complaining removing it was unnecessary to punish people terraforming. So do you want to give your customary answer for that one?
As I said on the last AMA session, if I'm not mistaken, we removed ability to open two inventories, kiln and your and I can't remember the abuse way, but in any case, you still can burn dirt in kiln. You can do it, but you can't do it in automatic way. It is not a factory for removing by one click. So that was, in our opinion, it was an abuse of mechanics. I know it helps a lot for terraforming, but we would like to add more obvious options and ways to make terraforming easier. We don't want that one player who knows how to abuse one mechanics will get more advantages before others who don't know how to abuse this mechanic. Uh, and But we will prepare some terraforming fixes, not fixes, but I'd say buffs for terraforming. I don't know yeah, how it will looks like. It may be will just reduce width of dirt, as example, or something like that. So yes, we'd like to make terraforming easier. Um Maybe not, maybe a bit faster, but yes, everyone should be in one condition. There should not be abused uh, complex mechanics that looks like bug.
That's quite fine. Just
And
want to mention. Sorry,
can
go on.
can I return to a question from
Yep, go
big
for it.
channel about grind on a new map? Uh, yes, uh, you have to do more on the map. There will no be AFK getting resources methods. Outposts will stay in the game. It will uh, it will gives other bonuses for guilds. So it will you will be happy of still building it, and even PVE, even PvP players will have a ways to get resources. So green have to be different. And I have talked with some your own servers owners, and they say in most cases that more green uh, they have, more uh, more ways more ways to get resources, uh, but you have to do something to do it. Uh, the longer players play and stay in the game. So yes, we'd like to go such way. Uh, so you will have to you will have more possibilities, more actions in the game, because we know complaints about guys. We want more events. We don't have any actions in the game. Just go IB, go Sage, and that's all. So yes, you will get your events, in-game events, and resources. Fight for resources. We think that that is a key point for craft survival game. Yes, fight for resources. I don't know how greedy it will be, and as we said before, we will test everything on public test realm. So we'll find out how it goes.
Great.
It
Yeah,
will
that's
not
great.
be just grind as grid, just because we want you to do uh, more boring actions. No, it will be actions even for PvP players to get resources. I hope you will find it pretty interesting.
Perfect. I guess we can go back to our main question list, which we promised to answer from Discord. This is back from when we announced it all. Um, uh, Obviously, please keep. We know there's a lot more questions still in YouTube and Twitch chats, so we will go over them, as we can. So we'll just go back to the next one here, the big one which has been asked. I have noticed this in the chat as well, which is: are there any plans on refactoring some of the UI elements? I give you a quick answer. There is yes, there is. We do have quite a few plans on the UI elements. Um, uh, like the game is old, and UI knowledge changes over time. So a good user-friendly UI is like really you need it to enjoy the game, because when it's crap, you tend to like lose yourself quite a lot. So yeah, it's being worked on, and I don't know. Do you want to add anything more about the UI, or is it just a simple yeah we are improving it? Anything to add for the UI, or you good there?
Oh, about UI,
Yeah.
it's not our priority. As as uh, as we talk on the previous AMA session, the most important part of game development is just choosing priorities of one feature or another. So yes, we find UI elements and UX in overall of Life is Feudal. It is not modern. It is not obvious. The first time I opened Life is Feudal wasn't easy. Yeah, I know your feeling. And yes, it have to be revamped. But yes, it's a question of priorities.
All right.
We see more problems when you ask to okay do another UI elements. Okay, we have to stop instance battle fixes or stop other features implementation or stop PvP patch. We have no unlimited resources in the companies. So yes, we have to choose what task we should do today and
Yep.
tomorrow.
It's also like a big part of it is how many people are really asking for it. Now, we do see that the UI question comes up often enough, but compared to the other points which the community brings up, like especially I would just keep referring to Discord again and again, UI is not a huge problem. Like compare it to, let's say, the server crashes, right? We will be crucified if we prioritize the changing UI rather than fixing the servers to be more stable. So it's that sort of thing. But simply put, we are aware of it. We know that it needs to be fixed, so it will be done eventually. Um, as always, if you guys have any suggestions on how you think could look, it's always interesting to know what you guys think. Like we have our own designs on it as well, so it's not a promise that we will take what you say. But yeah, that's cool. Then there's a question. I guess like this has been somewhat answered already, which is from Discord. We got asked, can we expect fixes to combat like the following and following, and also like what is our opinion about these things? So that's quite a long one. I can give it a short answer, I guess, and if you want, then maybe you can give a bit more detail later on. So, like, there's what was it? I think a militia 90 skill. We haven't changed it since the game's release. Like, polearm weapons were rarely used, and back then, obviously, we haven't received many complaints about it, especially about the disarm feature. Like, there were a few in the arena, but there weren't that many complaints. and overall, like there was a balanced approach to where players develop their own strategies on how to use these and the countermeasures. So yeah, we found it pretty good. That said, for upcoming PvP matches, we may slightly reduce some of the weapon stealing chances. Again, if you that's whether or not it's something which is highly requested or not. It's not a we will, it's we may. So let your thoughts be known about that. Stamina consumption during parrying, um, like that was added in because we had a specific goal. Like the first point was that it added a stagger effect for successful parries, and it sort of like um, uh, it enhanced the parrying, and it made it because that happened. It also made the whole balancing adjustments like necessary. Then the second point is that it made the combat much more tactical, especially in 1v1. So yeah, that's why the whole stamina consumption came in. So like we're constantly looking at the game data, and like this is one thing. Like though we can't see what weapons you're using, we can see some of the game data and like what people are saying, and that's how we do make the improvements. So it's something which takes time. We're not sure right now. Like, do people really want that change or not? Are you guys very happy with it? Um, uh, so
And
yeah, the feedback is important. So go for it.
yeah, about parry stamina consumption,
Yeah,
we are we think about reducing, not removing it, but maybe slightly reduce stamina
yeah, reducing it.
cost for it. But overall concept of pairing will be the same. You have to choose between running away from the battle, uh, or you can stay and use your stamina for parrying the attack. We find it in any case. We find this mechanic good, and we'll just maybe uh, move some parameters, but not remove it at all.
Yeah, and Nireda, as you said, there's a suggestion, one of the most up posts, and yeah, we're looking into that one as well. I actually have that, I have a note on that one there. So um, reducing the stamina drain won't be deleted, but reducing it is something which we would definitely consider. Okay, so there is a big question that's been asked a lot of times. So I'm just going to jump off script a bit, which is like, are we planning to lower the JH time? Um, uh, every day and on the weekend, especially. Quite a few people complaining that it ends up feeling more like a chore or a job rather than fun. So, what are your what's the thoughts on that there?
Yes, with Judgment Tower duration, there is a problem. We wanted to fix it and reduce it right during January holidays, right in the new year. But we have found that it is not as easy as we thought, and we have to rebuild a lot of code to just reduce judgment hour time. Yeah, it was a shock for us, but we have to deal with it, and didn't. We do want to fix it, and the new map will have only, I can announce it, will have only two judgment towers, and guild 1, guild rank 1 will have at if I'm not mistaken, it will have only 3 hours for weekdays, and uh, 5 hours for weekends. Uh, so it will be the most hard to defend Sage. Uh, Others guilds will have even less. So yes, we know about it. We do want to make it to make judges lesser. We don't see that previous approach about big guilds have to gather guys from over the world so everyone could defend the base in different prime time zones. No, it is not okay. But for two prime times, I hope it's okay, and that is what do you want.
So I guess, I mean, like, this is a big problem of the game, which is a lot of things that a lot of the community or the players, people think it's easy. Like this should be an easy fix. It ends up requiring us to just recode entire parts of the game. It's like with the recent server crashes, that was not just an easy fix. That required recoding pretty much everything else. And with the judgment hours, yeah, that one needs, yeah, the entire part just to reduce the times. It needs to be recoded bottom to top. It takes a long time. So yeah, as you heard, it's definitely something we wanted to do earlier. We still really need to do it, but it's a much bigger coding problem.
And
Um,
we
yeah.
let me add something. We decided to do such changes on a new map. On a new map, maybe you saw it earlier in our development diaries. We want uh, to make judgment hour depends on server. So yeah, you could and we it will be it will be a place where we could go, where we'll fix most of not maybe most, but a lot of issues,
Okay.
including judgment hour duration, make it lesser.
Right. I did notice a question. I don't know if this one's related, so maybe you might notice them better than me. There's a question that just asked, can't you just change the values for guild ranks? Um, i- am I missing something here, or is that related, or something else?
Sorry.
There was a question which was asked, which is just like, can't you just change the values for guild ranks? Now, I'm not sure if that's related or if I'm missing something or if you need more context. So I just wanted to check with you.
Maybe and I don't know. I didn't research this issue. How it could be
Mhm.
fixed? Maybe, but guild rank system will be also revamped for sure because it is not obvious.
Yeah.
Recently, I've got an explanation from developers who look through the code, and this explanation was like a whole page.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is not obvious. It is even hard to read. So yes, we'll do it more obvious, and I'm not sure uh, if every our change will could be implemented for Golden Land. So yes, we are aiming for a new map, for a new CH system, and yeah, just wait
Yeah.
for it on the public
That's the
test. We'll
story of the game. Everything is every single code is not what it should be. It's illogical, and it needs to be worked from top to bottom. Yeah, so that's that one there. I guess then I could return back to the main question set. Um, uh, then I think like something which I noticed from the community, even just on this or I don't know on Twitch right now, is that PvP versus PvE, the players, right? So there's it's a challenge to balance out whether we do it for whether we improve the game in a way that's PvP focused or PvE focused. So what is the plan to keep everyone engaged? Because a lot of the PvP people will be worried if we do updates for PvE, that they'll be left apart, the game will be stagnant for them. So yeah, do you have anything on that one there?
Yeah,
Or
I've talked about it earlier. We'd want make to make AFK gathering resources not such effective, and so outposts will give additional bonuses. So you will have bonuses for mining from one outpost, and herbalism hat will give you some herbalism uh, bonuses in the guild. So you will get additional bonuses. It will still be there, but you will have to do some actions to and that is the point, because if you are boring in the game, you just I don't know, you just come to Judgment Hour and fight someone 1 hour as on schedule. It is not as fun. So PvE players, as I said before, will be more valuable uh, because of lack of resources. But we want to add additional ways to get it during PvP. We talked about PvPvE activities. And yes, just imagine that Knulls will drop some additional resources, or uh, you will get in the camp. You can find it in the camps. So you will have different ways to get resources, and yes, you will have to go from your walls. It will be open world activities where you will see a lot of other players, and you will have to act with them somehow. And I hope it will make the game more alive. So everyone will have to do with each other, and take more actions inside the game. More activities, more
um,
fun.
so there is then, I guess, kind of in a way related. There was a question in the chat about like whether we'll consider a redesign of the branches of the professions and like, or maybe redesigning them or just adding new ones, or like maybe will there be some items such as jewelries and food? Will they be changed? Yeah, any plans on that one there?
Mm. Yeah, as I said before, we've talked with some your own servers owners and look at the in-game progress, the recipes, the ways to make players play longer. And yes, as example, I'd like to get more recipes for jewelry, as example, uh, and make rings and amulets. Uh, some additional bonuses for other skills. It will make jewelry much much useful. We don't have uh, current ways to we know about cooking issues. So yes, we are just trying to find a way to make uh, some some crafting abilities to make it more useful, and as always, it is a priority question, and we will come to it for sure.
Cool.
And yes, we, as I said before, we have a statistic of about used skills that players have the most and the worst, and who. So we see which skills you prefer, and we understand which one should be fixed uh, in the first, and what can wait a bit.
Perfect. Actually, when it comes to the whole point about the prioritizing based on what community mentions, like I know a few people have mentioned like whether we're actually looking on Discord, and obviously the answer is yes. But one of the reasons why we keep saying that please, go on Discord and let us know what your thoughts are is because there's a lot of people. Like at the peak, this stream had what 2,500 people, or something like that, and now there's 1,300 people there. There's not the same amount of people upvoting feature requests, bug or suggestions like that on Discord. So maybe it's nice that some of the suggestions have, a couple of hundred upvotes or a couple hundred comments, something like that. But it's still not, the several thousand. So we just keep reminding you guys, if you we do our best to make sure we listen to your voice. If you guys really believe something, like then yeah, make sure I vote it. Like I know, case in point, while we were talking about the stamina drain for parrying, right? Somebody mentioned that it is in the suggestion, and there's 95 people upvoting it, 14 comments, something like that. So, yeah, I've had a link to that for a while to look over it. But again, 95 people is not the what. There's currently, I think, about 2,000 daily active users. So we really want to just keep reminding you guys, go on Discord and let your voice be known, because if it turns out that many people don't really want it, then we can consider it a bit more. But when we look on the general things, yes, 95 people is quite a lot of people compared to how many people is active on Discord. But we would ideally like as many people as possible to give their thoughts on it. And we can improve the system, make it a bit more streamlined, get more people information on it. Definitely work we can do eventually, and we should do. But that is why we keep repeating it. Like, let us know your thoughts, because we know that not everybody who's in this stream is on our Discord server. Not everyone is letting us know what they really want. So, to the people who are, letting us know what they think, great, thank you very much. To the people who are not, then please do give us, if you have the time and the will to do it, then let us know. It really does help. Yeah, that's the main point I really wanted to bring up about that bit, because there's a reason we keep repeating that line over and over again. Get on Discord and let us know your thoughts. Okay, so then the next question, like we've spoken a lot about already, balancing and how it'll be. So, yep, I guess I can jump over that unless there's anything new that pops up. I guess a big question is going to be, we have to address the crashes and the login process. So, like the question as is, are there any plans to improve the login process or to fix the issues with the game processes staying active? after a game disconnects or crash, and especially with the people who are in game, they get locked out in a crash, and then they can't log back in again, while a lot of other people can stay in the game. So, yeah, do you want to give any thoughts on that one there?
Yes, there are technical issues because we have uh, uh, we have a good system that allow us uh, to turn and restart our service even if it is down, if it is locked on something like that. But our dispatcher, one of our login system, just don't think that you just think that the current player is online and prevent him from entering the game. So yes, we know the issues. We decided that there are still a lot of unknown problems that can cause server crashes. We understand that there are a lot of other issues, but for now, we decided to revamp all this login system to make players to enter the game even after these crashes. So we will still continue to work on uh, removing a lot of server crashes issues, reasons of it, and fix it. But our today approach is to make player experience, even if the server is crashed, so they should return in 1 or 2 minutes into the game. Uh, I hope we will do it. We'll researching this question right now. I just want to tell one of our funny, I'd say so, story about one of the reason of one of the crashes. It was killing a rabbit. So when we killed a rabbit, the servers goes down. Yeah, it was just a funny crash,
Seriously?
and the
Come on, I didn't
reason
know that.
was with loot table of the rabbit. Uh, so yeah, we don't know how much problems still in the game. We try to fix them when we find out how it was done. But today we want to fix the overall problem of players is that they can join the game. So yes, I hope we will make a hotfix. Uh, I can't say dates because it is still in
Yep.
research. But yes, we want to fix it, and I hope to end with that waiting for server issues at last.
Okay, so yeah, I guess then summarize that one there. In the end, the solution to the crashes and all of the issues that people have, like especially getting back in the game, because of the way the game is coded, again, back to this problem, we have to redesign the entire login system, recode it up from bottom to top, because sometimes it is honestly idiotic that killing a rabbit will crash the game. And then that will mean that you can't log back into the game. That is kind of nuts. But that is the truth of one of the reasons for the crashes, and there are several others. So a proper permanent fix is, one that we can be confident about will mean that we redo the login process entirely. So yeah, that's one that's simple as that. It will take a bit more time, but we are able to deal with the situation when it crashes a lot quicker, provided that it's not 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday or Friday, something like that, when it's a bit harder to get people online. Yeah,
And
I
by the
think
way,
there is. Yeah, go on.
if you will find such rabbits, I mean risks of server crashes, contact our support team, please, and you will have your reward. Because such important issues like duplicating items, like server crashes and so on, uh, are just critical for us, and we'd like to thank you for information about it. And yes, such issues are the priority for our to fix, to deal, and yes, it will make the game more stability, and will not and will so players will have less negativity about technical issues. It's, yeah, very important for us. So yes,
Yeah,
if you will find something strange, something critical, just contact us, please, and share details of
perfect.
the bugs.
Yeah, so think of it as a mini, what do you call it, like a bug bounty. If there's big stuff like that, report it, and we will, reward you with a thank you. Not just thank you, I mean with something nice from the game. That's just how we want to work. Right, there was just a small misunderstanding which I kind of want to clear up. Chainblade was mentioning the whole point about feedback and point there. The What I mentioned about the feedback is not really aimed at the people who are already doing it. People who are giving the feedback, that's great. I mentioned the 95 one is because as a just point out that yeah, look, we've seen you guys there, and thanks for giving the feedback. It's for the people who are not doing it. Like that's I'm mentioning this here because not everybody knows that it exists. Not everybody knows that we're listening out for it. So if you have given us your feedback, that's great. And yes, 95 upvotes is a freaking huge amount, to be honest, right? I'm saying that the more people, the better. Yeah, that's all simple as that. We need as much people to give us feedback as we can. It makes it a lot easier for us to decide if the majority really is a majority because we need to look at it from the amount of players. So I guess the upcoming test map will definitely help, but it's something for there. There's a question about ETA about the map, the new map. I will just mention this one again. We don't really have a fixed one. Like we would like to have it in July, but because of the bunch of issues that we have with Hoodlands, crashes and bugs which popping up, which by the way, a lot of these bugs and crashes are happening because the player numbers have been going up steadily to the point where the instability, one of the sources of instability is the player numbers. We want to work on making the Hoodland and the services more stable before we release the new map. So new map, we're aiming for July because we had to put a bit more priority on the making things stable. But don't hold your breath for July just yet. We don't want to promise anything just yet. That is just our plans. Yeah, so I think that's mostly it for the servers. It's fun to know that a rabbit was the cause of me staying up till 3 in the morning a few times. So fun. And I guess the next point here is before we go back to some more of the Twitch and YouTube questions is that about skins. We've been asked a few times whether when will we make the skins and the rewards fully functional because currently a lot of them can't be used. Yeah, do you have anything on that one there?
Yes, we know about issues, and there are a bunch of issues actually. Some players don't see a button to equip a skin. Some just don't get skin. It is not visible on themselves, and some just don't see the skin in their account inventory. There are a bunch of problems, and it is not so easy to get where the problem is, because it is a complicated system with account inventory. But today we gathered enough logs, and after this patch, today patch, I hope this patch will have no a lot will not have a lot of problems. We know about trade post issue, yeah, and I can even say okay later what it was. Um, Skin problems was not our priority before that, but this week or maybe next week we'll try to find ways to fix even these along with IB and Arena's transfer issues. And as I started to talk about trade post issue, yeah, in some way, as I understand, our new trade posts go into our current from the new map goes uh, into our config files. So yes, we have a new trade post here instead the old one. Can see. Oh, it is not GM account. Okay. So just yes, I hope we will fix it tomorrow, or maybe it will require additional day to update.
Yeah. Yeah, fingers crossed with that there then. I guess then I can have a quick look now at some of the more of the, Discord and Discord. Yeah, generally questions from the community. One of them, which I noticed, was somebody people were asking whether the LIF tokens will still be available, for the new map, and that's simply yes. I mean, we don't have an expiration date for the LIF tokens or the coins or what you want to call them. Claim them whenever, and if you haven't used them, use them, and just know that you don't get a subscription to just one map. The subscription is on your account, so you get both maps. So if you if you want to save the coins for when the new map is ready, then go for it. That's your choice. You don't have to choose one or the other. Then there was a question earlier on. Let's see, there's one on the larger one. Will you ever consider removing an ability to pray for? Wait, what the hell? Sorry, I'm trying to read this. It's a bit hard. Will you ever consider to remove an ability to pray for the destruction, to pray for destroy constructions which are already built, and stay on place more than 24 hours of real life hours? Because right now, apparently, a group of people can attack a castle, win a siege, and pray to demolish, so the defenders do not have a chance to take their castle back. The same people can then keep going and demolish one claim after another, which then force a lot of players into losing interest in the game. And then demolish should be only the person who wrote this suggested that demolish should only be possible with in-game explosives. So, well, yeah, what's the stance on that one?
Uh, we'd like to. We don't like to the idea about easy destruction. One button destruction. We are, if I'm not mistaken, it's already on our test server. Support points remover button for outposts. So yes, outpost problem will be fixed, but not for every building. If you want to destroy it, you have to deal with it by in-game
Sounds good.
mechanics. Stop moving me. Okay.
Fishing wars. Sorry, there's a question which got asked: will we let people transfer characters from Land to the map? And until now, so far, the answer is no, because the new map is a new map where everybody is, should start on the same level. And like we have discussed this, and it's just constantly come back. Like if he lets you transfer, what do you call it, characters over, then it's just more of the same. It's unbalanced, and like the whole new map is so that people are on the same level to start off with. So for now, that's that. It won't be a new one. Yeah, always fun to see people moving you around when you're trying to fish. That's good. Um, then related to the moving characters is, are we planning on letting people have any more characters on their accounts? What's the latest on that?
Actually, we don't see the problem uh, with character number right now. We think that 6 characters are more than enough for players to get every skill in the game. So you can upgrade every skill in the game, and we find it good. This limitation, 6 characters, uh, will be separately for every map. So
It's cool.
you can stay with your characters on Godland, and you will have a chance to save it if you want to return uh, while playing on a new map. So yes, you will just have your characters on every map.
That's great. So yeah, you get 6 characters per map. It won't be 6 characters per account, 6 characters per map. So but you cannot transfer from Kunlands to the new map. Maybe in a future map we might allow it, but that's for future one. For this map, it's as things stands, hard no. Yeah. So that definitely will make quite a few people happy, because I've had quite a few conversations. People were worried that they would have to delete a character on Hoodlands to be able to play on the new map, but now they can be happy that they don't have to, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Going back to the questions which we got here. There's a question about farming, which doesn't come up too often, but yeah. Is there any point in doing crop rotations when you're farming?
Sorry?
Is there any point in doing crop rotations while farming in the game? It's a different question. I thought it'd be quite fun
Crop
to answer.
rotations.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we didn't touch plants, crops, and so on, because think that these mechanics will require additional efforts to discover, even we have to balance it with tailoring, with cooking, and so on. And yes, it will it is not just on the table. We are fixing the most important issues with game systems. Uh, we are trying to make a game more more engaging, and the crop issues. It is not the best option to spend our efforts on it right now. But yes, we have enough PvE players and who gave us a lot of suggestions about planting and so on. So yes, we'll come to this question one day. One day.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's a different one. I haven't really had encountered many questions about farming in the game just for a while. So yeah, it's nice. Then there's a question which got asked quite a lot in the past, which is then um, I wonder, have you cut out there or are you still there? It's some small technical issues, I think. Okay. Okay, no problems.
Oh,
Well, then I'll just go back over the questions. Let me know if he comes back. Then I'm just going to go back over the questions which have been asked so far. There's a couple of quick fire ones. So let me just find this stuff there. Then let's see. Are there? Yeah, a big question, I guess, related to the whole fun point was like we got asked quite often. Are there any plans on balancing the cooking class? Because right now foods only add XP bonuses and luck. So are there any plans to add buffs to some of the dishes? And just like we mentioned jewelry in the past, so like in a sense, just like jewelry and crafting, cooking is one of the skills that we want to improve on. Um, we one of the considerations we're doing is looking at the possibility of putting making that high level foods can have some sort of temporary character buff, maybe to stats, in addition to providing the luck and XP bonuses. But um, uh, on the grand scheme of things, that's kind of a lower priority. So it is, mostly in the planning stage right now. For that, we are open to ideas. So if you have any ideas on what you would like the food to do, maybe something unique or something novel. Yep. Okay, yeah. So then just let us know if there's. Yep, you are live on stream still. Okay, yeah. So then after the about that was just the quick one about the dishes, the cooking. That is more like. Um, Dashboard is another question which I get asked quite a lot, and I find that quite funny because like my account in the game had a lot of problems with the dashboard. It was broken in a very odd way, so we get asked quite often like, are there any plans to rework the dashboards or the map? Because the map in game is a bit hard to use sometimes. And the answer is yes. We're working on the dashboard and the in-game map now. Even currently, we've been doing a lot of minor tweaks in the background just to make things smoother and also to make it work better for people who do have the problems with it. But those are like we're missing. Those have been small, like behind the scene changes. So like we're working on larger things. Some stuff like just making the map even load quicker or perform better, because that's just really fundamental. Like sometimes opening the map, depending on the system specifications, it can cause the game to just go out of whack. So that's a big focus. And there's a lot more stuff we're working on in the past. Yeah, in the past, working on for the future. Um, there was an interesting comment which I noticed in Twitch chat, which is like, why would people want to play a multiplayer game and then ignore everything else? And I guess really that one is just because multiplayer games tend to be the ones that are updated with new content over time. If you want a single player version of a multiplayer game, then a lot of times they don't get developed beyond the release points, or not often, right? So that's why there are a lot of PvE players within a multiplayer game. Like people play solo in multiplayer games just because they know the content generally keeps being added on over time. So yeah, that's also like that's a pretty large amount of people do that. So like several games I played in the past, I would do that quite often. Like back in the days, I played other MMOs, and yeah, I would enjoy playing them solo as much as playing multiplayer. It's an interesting one. So yeah, then let's see. I'm just going to go a few of the Twitch questions. Um, okay, there was one by SF Jerry about people who got the, let's say, the Lift coins on, let's say, maybe their Steam account rather than the LTG account when they tried to merge it. Um, so the quick answer is yes. Like, we want to fix it so people have the Lift coins on the right account, so it's not split up like that. Now the problem is that that didn't affect everyone. It's very specific cases for some people here and there. And we've been working on a few cases, trying to get it fixed, and it's always been a bit hard to, maybe not hard, like, yeah, it's been more complicated because it seems like almost everyone who has that problem has a unique version of this problem. So, yeah, do you have
Can I
anything
ask?
about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Yes. We actually we understand after the implementation of
Okay.
merging account button that the naming was not so good because it was not merging but like activating. We said in announce that we will add possibility as we called cross-playing in different accounts later, but it was not so obvious. So yes, we are still working on it, and I hope we will do it. Okay, no dates, but soon. Okay, we're just working on it, and yes, you will be able to transfer your Leaf coins to your LTG account and continue to play with your characters, or you can just wait a new map and go on it with your characters while using your Steam and your Leaf coins linked with your Steam email, Steam account. So yes,
Perfect.
this cross progress, cross play will be available soon.
Yep. Awesome. Um, uh, then yeah, I can then go back to the other questions. Let's see. This one is Dana's unique question. I think we may have covered it over, but so yeah, if it's a repeat, then sorry about it. But if we come up with a better siege system for the new map than what is on the Goodenland one, do we plan on applying it to Goodenland without wipe? And if not applied, why would people want to stay on a new map with better mechanics? So, like, yeah, what are your thoughts on that one there?
Yeah, we think that our new Sage system it is not. It will be hard to implement for Godland actually, uh, because there are a lot of structures, buildings, guilds. It is not easy to implement right here. But for the new map and when the new map release, I hope we will find a solution how it can be how Godonland can attract still attract people. We'd like mm, to change some rules. Maybe there will no be judgment towers, and make it like a creative mode. Um, so you could build everything you want without decay and judgment towers. So we will find a solution. So Godland will still be online with your characters. Maybe we will reduce servers that we maintain. Uh, we'll transfer characters to the buildings and so on in some way. But yes, Godland with your characters will be alive. Uh, there will be just some additional rules and additional mods. I'd say so.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Again, okay.
There is no. We can all hear it. Okay. Sorry, there we go. So then another one which was asked is like, I'm actually not too sure about this one. This one might be a question for the marketing team, but it was that like a lot of people came back to the game for the Steam launch, and they were happy to get the month extra, month of subscription. There's a question asked whether we're planning on anything for the new map, and that like to encourage people to come back into the game. So that's definitely one for the marketing team. And right now we just discuss stuff with the development side. However, it's a valid point, and so this was from Snides on YouTube. I will try to figure that one out for you. I'm not too sure where the best place will be to let you know the answer. If you're on Discord, then send me a DM there, and I'll let you know. Or like if we are doing something, we will announce it as well. To be honest, right? So that's the easier one there. But I just want to say that I've seen your message and I've actually noted it down. It's definitely a good one for us to iron out, just to be able to answer it at least. Okay, then going back to the game questions quickly. Let's see if there's anything from Maximalus wrote that 6 characters might be too much, asking whether we'll decrease it, and the point is we are not going to decrease it. If anything, like as I mentioned before, it's 6 characters per map, so in a sense that is already increasing it by another 6. But yeah, we won't be decreasing the amount of characters that you have. Now, I think the question in this community is being asked a lot because in the past we did speak about it, whether we are going to add new animals that you can ride. Like, I remember in the past we discussed, what was it? I think camels. So, and our answer was pretty much yeah, if we were open to it, but it's not a priority. But it was a fun conversation. So, yeah, well, has there been any updates to rideable camels? Camelry in a desert, riding about? Or what's your thoughts on that one there so far? Has there been any progress?
Still about camels. Yeah,
Yes,
we
but
are
donkeys now
working
as
on it.
well.
As usually, it's our daily schedule about camels development. Yeah, and bots. Yes, we making it every day.
You are joking about it, right?
Of course.
Okay, good. I'm just saying because you said that a little bit too deadpan, so I'm pretty sure some people would think, yeah, wait, you're being serious, right? But no. Yeah, again, the answer to that one really is the same as before. We're not against it. Like, camels can be fun, but compared to everything in the game, that is not a priority, unfortunately. So, like, there's the same thing with, rideable donkeys. That is a bit odd. Or I swear somebody mentioned giant grasshoppers, or maybe I misunderstood that. I can't find a comment right now, but hey, yeah. So going back to some of the other questions that we have here, will you add or active? Will you activate the power hour button to compensate the XP loss of the daily crashes? To I guess like what we have from there is like the thing is when the game crashes, which for a couple of days it has now, so hope it stays that way. We prefer to give you just extend your subscription. I think people are much happier by that because in the end, giving let's say more experience or experience boosts that works in a free to play game because you're not paying for the days, but in a subscription game you are paying for the days. So it's much, in our opinion, it's much fairer to and much more valuable to actually give you the subscription days rather than an XP boost. So yeah, if there's a crash, our go-to is really look, we want to give you the days back. Obviously, we give you a bit more on top of that. I think we have been decently generous by giving the sub days every time we have these crashes, especially the long crashes. So yeah, no plans really for the XP buttons or power hour buttons like that. Um, then will you add or fix the option to make proper buy order for regional goods? I guess that's one for you.
Yes, it requires, we know about this issue, and it requires some additional updates on and it is on schedule. I can't say about dates, but yes, uh, this bug is also in our backlog, and we know how to fix it. Actually, it's just requires additional time to fix it. Uh,
Nice. Um, there's actually
we just
one
want
very relevant.
we just
Oh,
want to fix some map issues before that, and
yeah,
maybe after that we will return to
the
by
regional goods. Yep.
uh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's on our to-do list. There is one relevant question, I guess, for you because from our latest Developer Diaries video, people saw the chests and they saw that each chest in the video had a limit of 400 items. Now, people were mentioning that 400 seems a bit low because your current inventory is 250 or something like that. Is that 400 a fixed value, or is it something which we will consider expanding on? Or yeah, what's thoughts there?
The 200 limits of what? Sorry.
It's okay. So this might be a bit harder to answer, but if it is, then do just say. But in our latest, what do you call it, developer diary video, um, uh, there are the chests that you. I'm calling the wrong bloody thing. I forgot the name,
Yes,
which is really frustrating.
box.
Yes, and those are limited to 400. In the video, people see 400, right? And 400 is quite low. That's the current feedback from the community. The storage box is. How the hell did I forget the word storage box? Yes, it's one of the new features which we are working on, and
Yeah.
because it was in the recent video that we released, they were wondering, is 400 the actual maximum per storage box, or are we planning on making it more?
Actually, it should be bigger. I have to check it. Okay, maybe there is some error, but yes, storage box should be much more bigger.
What is the amount that it should be?
Can't remember actually.
Okay, but more than 400. I mean, that's going to make people, happy right away. Yeah. Okay, so then that question was, I guess, yeah, West, you're on Discord and you probably heard. Some comments are saying 1,000 minimum, others saying 4,000. And yeah, I guess you could see the reaction directly on his face that when I mentioned 400, is like, wait, that seems wrong. So that is a good reminder that in the developer diaries, the videos that we have of the upcoming content, that is all in development. The reason we constantly say that is exactly like this year. 400 is, yeah, that was a bug. Stuff like that will happen. And you guys are free to let us know every time you think. So it'll be more. We'll let you know once we have the answer to how much more it should have been. But please don't worry, not 400. All right. Um, Yeah, there's been a few questions about the what do you call it? Horses. Like, are we planning on improving the horses and the carts to be a little bit less janky, a bit more fluid?
Yes, we'd like to fix even this problem. We will add an amortization for this for horse riders. So it camera will not go as crazy as it goes so right now. So yes, we are researching how it could be fixed, and I hope next patch will add this feature, and our horse riders uh, will be happy. And we have to check if lancers will not be suffered by this change also. So yes, we'll try to fix it by improving a camera, and I hope it will fix the problem.
Cool. Yeah, that's great then. Then I guess a quick, easy one is: are we planning on adding any more huntable or tameable animals in the game?
Animals. No, you know about my answer. It is not a
Not a
priority right
priority.
now. We are working on players. By we want to give players more activities, more diversity in the castle buildings by
Mhm.
adding some additional structures. So yes, that is our priority, but not another animal that don't change the gameplay.
Okay. Yep, that makes perfect good sense. It's one of those things. I guess then this is on the list I have. Plus, it's been asked quite a lot. The answer is ultimately going to be similar. It's as we mentioned now, not for the gameplay, but what are the plans, or are there any, for mounted archers? So like archers on horses. I mean, I guess then the answer is like there's no immediate plans for mounted archers. We've considered it
Mm,
as a new feature, but is there anything to add on that one there or not?
uh, not right now. We know about old mounted arches issues, and it may be interesting mechanics, but it is hard to be balanced. No, we are not going to return and make PvP patches even more complicated. Uh, so not right time.
Okay.
Just not
There's a
even soon.
yeah. Then I guess then like we can go. This relates like in a way the answers like SF Jerry was asking: are there any plans to encourage guilds to launch IBs more often or make it easier to do so? Because right now he's saying that there's what 1,000 provinces, and most of the days there may not be any IBs going on. So obviously, we have to improve the IBs in general, just like making them much more user friendly and much more stable. But are there any plans on that front?
Uh, we are fixing IB entrance problems, and don't want to don't want to uh, make additional changes right now. Every change that we want to add for siege
Okay,
mechanics
and
and
unfortunately he's
business
cut off there
battles.
out of fun time. But I guess I can just quickly mention that, like, the things that with the IB, the problem is that there are so many issues with it from the bottom to the top, and that's like the IBs are half broken, right? So we mentioned it earlier on that we want to make the feature better. We need to essentially recode it. It's one of those things where we have to work on the stability of the IB first, um, uh, and that's how we're gonna work on it. So it is a focus, um, and because of that, also there will be changes to IBs to see, but we don't know whether they'll be we think it's great. Hopefully, you guys will as well. But because of that, we have the public test realm, which we're going to release, and that will have the upgraded IBs, and obviously the fixed as well, so you can see how it works. Then you can see whether those things will be good or bad. But yeah. So yeah, IBs are going to be focused. It's a big part of the game which is underutilized, but it needs to be made stable first. That's the biggest point, really. I think we're running out of general questions that have been put forward to us on Discord. I'm just curious if there will be any people from Twitch or YouTube that have any questions that we have missed. Because if you missed them, please ask them now. This is your chance. Yep. Okay. Will it be possible to pay the outposts? Okay. Will it be possible to pay the outposts on remote from the monuments instead of live coins with normal in-game coins, instead of lots coins paid? Is there anything you have on that one there?
About remote support points.
Yeah. Will it be possible to pay the outposts on remote from the
Okay.
monuments?
Actually, we don't think that this feature will be useful for now because we are focusing on the new map, as you know, and there will not be teleportation features. There will not be transfers via trade posts, and I don't think that remote support points will be okay for it. For Godland, yes, I'd say that it should be fixed because of range and a lot of there are just much bigger distances between guilds, outposts, and so on. But for our priority UMAP, it is not so useful. So not now, not now.
Sounds good. Then let's see. Just checking a few things. Then there's a question what is our definition of a siege? Okay, and unfortunately, there's a bit of connection problems. You still there with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so then let's go with this one quickly. We're being asked what is our definition of a siege? As soon as a FOB is placed near a defending claim, or only during actual HGH, or is your definition something in between?
It touches even GHs, even Holy Judgment Towers, even FOB structures. Yes, we would like to fix and to fix system problems. Like the game itself want the players to create additional guilds. These FOBs. It pushes guilds to create additional ones, and we'd like to fix a lot of issues during our Sage Sage update on a new map. So not even
You just fly
Judgment
away.
Towers, not even regular Judgment Towers, but even overall attacking and defending possibilities on a new map.
Yeah, so there's something which I just want to mention, which was that as Nico mentioned, are we aware that people, from big guilds tend to represent their own, their own wants and needs and stuff like that. We know that people, we we don't ask just one set of people for their thoughts on the game. Obviously, the bigger guild members are, they're a big part of the game as they are experienced as well. But something which I've been mentioning all the time is that, hey guys, go on Discord and let us know your voices. A big thing about the bigger guilds or alliances, they are vocal as hell. Like they will let their voices be heard, whether they like something or hate something or whatever. But not everyone does that. That's why I'm constantly saying, please, like, a lot of you do it, but not everyone. A lot of people just go on Discord and let your voices be known. Like, this when I am there, for example, and I see people putting suggestions back and forth, I don't actually know you by your usernames and whether you are a person who's been playing forever and ever or just been playing for the last half an hour, right? So I'm not going into that detail either. If the idea makes sense and I see other community members are genuinely like discussing about it, I'll bring it forward. And it doesn't matter to me whether you've been there forever or not. Obviously, again, the big people from big guilds, no disrespect to them, they've stuck with the game. They've really helped the game stay together. But it's not that we're blind to it. Like we do have our own brains as well. Like um, we talk about balancing all the time, right? So we want to make the game balanced. So people let us know their opinions. We work with it, and yeah, those big guilds and big alliances, they do want what's best for the guilds, but the fact that they're still in the game now, after it's been closed for so long, just to come back, that itself means that they do care about the game, and we've got to respect that. But yeah, so balancing act, there's no way I would say anything bad about the big guilds because they're playing the game. But yeah, we want to just yeah. I guess based on your reply, you understand what I mean. We list everyone equally. So yeah. Um, uh, so there's one by Hodgson, which was something about making the game faster. Let me try to find that question because I did read it. So, there you go. So yeah, um, this question I guess for you, which is like when he joined Steam, when joined the game from Steam on the stream. Sorry, I'm getting tired here. Some people feel that the game could be faster. Like apparently in the past they loved the long siege, the month long sieges in the old old era. But after some time, it gets boring. Any plans on making the game paced a bit faster?
We think that players have to get different different actions. They the problem is not about dig and build faster and destroy faster. We'd like to make it longer, and still, and while longer, you will still always uh, have to find your way to make the game fun and easier. So you could just pick activity you want and do it, or pick another if you are boring. It is not about fast build and fast destroy. And okay, let's make a vibe. We are done for this map. It's about playing the game in a long term.
Okay. Yep. Hot Sihun, please let me know if you think that answers you, or if it doesn't, then just do follow up with it. I'm curious on what your thoughts are. Going back over the questions just to see if we're missing anything. Yeah. Um, Different siege. Ba-dum. Okay, there's a question which I found here is, are there any plans for horse bags or backpacks that add extra weight capacity on the horses like that? Do you have anything planned there?
Actually, I didn't heard about such suggestions, but maybe it will be interesting. If I'm not mistaken, we have uh, additional receipts for armor horse. Maybe it will be additional ability to make to add a back of a horse. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it sounds interesting. I don't know about complexity of these, but maybe one day. As I said, it is. I find this interesting idea, and it could help on a new map. So you can grab your stuff and ride to another point. You will have no, even if you have no horse cart. So yes, it can be useful, but maybe, but not right now. Yeah, I'll just
So,
add this point to our backlog. Yeah, thank you.
yeah, there you go. It wasn't before, but now it is in the list, straight from the dev's mouth. Okay, so just want to say that we probably will be closing up pretty soon now. Like we did schedule this end 20 minutes ago, but there's been quite a lot of questions we really wanted to go through. So yeah, there are probably going to be some questions which we've missed. If there have been any that you've missed, that I've missed, or we missed, whatever, I would say DM me on Discord with your questions. I will, get you the answers. If you haven't, if you think that your question has been missed out, just send me a DM. Let me know that you asked it on the stream, and I will just organize an answer for you there. Because yeah, no one's been intentionally ignored. I haven't seen anything insane where I was like, I'm not gonna answer that. Don't do that anyway. But yeah, so yeah, I think that will be the end of that one there for this one. And obviously, we'll be back again. In the future, we do want to keep showing our faces to you guys, just showing that we are, here, staying, working on the game, doing our best to make it good. And each time, the hope is that we'll just have something more features in the game, which is really just something which you guys have asked for, like being able to tick off those features. Community request features are the best. Yeah. Anything you want to add, or should we gradually end for this one?
I'd also say thanks for community for questions, for suggestions. I do really like the idea about horsebacks. So yes, send your suggestions, complaints on stock and other weapons. We'll try to gather it and will make balance and new features like item split feature that we added right now. So yes, it is your suggestions, and we'll try to follow them and make the game better.
All right then. Thank you very much, everyone. As I said again, if I've missed a question, please just DM it to me on Discord. I will get you the answer. We just, but hopefully we've answered everyone that we can find here. So yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we will obviously be back, soonish in a while for another stream. But until then, yeah, please keep being awesome, and thank you for everything.
See ya. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye.
Balance Restoration offers a special chance for past players who've invested in Life is Feudal MMO. If you spent during its earlier days, you can now receive bonus coins that you can use towards a new Life is Feudal MMO subscription. Remember this world? Want to come back? Then rest assured, we've got the solution. Head over to ltg.com or the LTG launcher and follow 3 simple steps. Log in and merge your original game account using your email or Steam. Enter the email related to your old account or link your Steam account. Confirm the merge. Lift coins will be credited to your account instantly. Use them to dive back into the game. A Bella awaits.